Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Whether you're first time visitor, returning viewer, subscriber, welcome. I am happy to have you. Today we are going to be doing a quick book haul. We're also going to be doing a TBR jar pulling for books. And then I am going to, depending on how long it takes to record the first two parts of this video, we are going to wrap some books for this special video project that I have, book project that I have going on for the month of February. So if that interests you, go ahead and stick around, subscribe. I am not a booktuber. I just want to make that very clear. I am a reader, an avid one at that. And I do like talking about book content on this channel, but this is more of a lifestyle channel. I am a new mom navigating the world of having a baby in the NICU. I am also an educator, but that content doesn't really come until the summertime. So make sure to go ahead and subscribe. Likes and comments also takes me a long way and helps give my channel additional exposure. So I appreciate that in advance. With that being said, I don't want this video to be too long because your girl does not have the time to sit and edit like I used to. So let's get this going. We're going to start with the books that I was not supposed to buy in January because I was supposed to be on a book buying ban. Yeah, that's just hard. So I'm going to share the physical books that I have. And then I also am going to share some of the digital books that I've purchased. So I guess we can start with the obvious books, which are these books stacked over here. So I can get them back on my bookshelf because my bookshelf is looking a little not so nice. We're going to start with the books that I got through my book of the month subscription box. I'll leave a little blurb and information about that below, but basically you can subscribe to this book box that has new authors, new book releases, all of these different genres that you can pick from. I've been a subscriber for 6 years now. 5 or 6 years. It's been a long time and I've been committed, and this is probably the one subscription I have not canceled at any point during my subscription. So that tells you all you need to know. So this month I actually got 3 books, and I'm not going to spend time talking about the synopsis and things like that because, again, don't want this to be too long. So the first book that I got in the book box is The Stolen Queen by Fiona Davis. To my understanding, this book actually came out this month being the month of January. And long story short, it's about how these two women's lives collide. One from Egypt in 1936, if I'm not mistaken, and another one, in New York City in 1978. This is a historical fiction novel, so I am looking forward to it. I love Egyptian mythology. I've talked about this book in my top 10 videos for 2025 to read. So if you want more information about that, you can go check that video out. I'll make sure it's linked down below. I also got Babylonia. I heard maybe a couple of booktubers reference this book and talk about it. It says, a common woman, the governor she married, the king who loved them both. Welcome to the empire of gods and men, and the one queen destined to rule them all. Okay, this seemed like this might be some type of historical fiction. Last but not least, I got another book that is not new, but it is new to me in my library collection. Actually, I got 2 more books from Book of the Month. We have Butcher and Blackbird, which to my understanding is a dark romance novel about 2 serial killers that kill serial killers. Interesting concept to me. I know the 3rd book is about to come out sometime soon. So if I like this one, I'll go ahead and get the other 2 books. Probably not anytime soon because I need to consume the books that I already have. But I will at least add it to my wish list if I like this one. So this might be a book that I'm interested in reading for the month of February. So I'm going to keep this to the side for another video that I'm about to film in just a second. Another one I got is Ruthless Vows, which is the 2nd book in the Divine Rivals duology. And this is a continuation. I've heard mixed reviews about Ruthless Vows, but for the most part, I'm just going to read it when I get the time and for my own opinion and conclusion. So I'm trying to stay away from the synopsis or any blurbs or spoilers or anything like that. I just want to read it. So we have Ruthless Vows to accompany Divine Rivals. And then last but not least, we also have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And this is basically about a woman who makes a deal to have immortality. But the catch is people won't remember her name or remember who she is or something like that until one day there is somebody that does. And so I'm going to guess that they spend the rest of the book trying to figure out how that person is the one exception. Excuse the noise in the background. I don't know what they got going on outside, but we're gonna keep it moving. This was a book that I was supposed to read for the month of January for one of the book clubs that I'm a part of. I can't even tell you which one because I've joined so many and I'm so overwhelmed. So I'm just gonna have to go and figure out what exact book clubs I want to be a part of and just excuse myself from the rest because I was so overwhelmed with trying to keep up with all of the books to read that I didn't read any of the books that my book clubs read. Not one. Now we are going to rapid fire move through the rest of the books that I have purchased through the month of January. I can't remember if I shared this book or not, but I have the Bookshop Sisterhood Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, and she is an author that is very popular on BookTube and BookTok right now. I guess the two books that I have are going to finish the series for Magnolia Parks. I have Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, which is focusing on Daisy and her brother Julian, their point of view that is happening at the same time of Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home. And then we have the final book, Magnolia Parks, Into the Dark. I don't think this is the final book of the series, but it is the final Magnolia and BJ book. So I'm gonna take my time with these because I've heard Into the Dark. Let's just say I'm ready for it. So obviously I have to get through Daisy Hates to get to that part. I'll probably try to read Daisy Hates The Great Undoing in February, but I make no promises because there are some other books that I probably will prioritize over this one. Next I have Welcome to the Heinam Dong Bookshop, which was translated. This is another book that is popular on BookTok, and it caught enough of my attention that I actually wanted to grab it. So this is the book that I've actually put in my bag, going to go visit my son. I haven't actually started it yet, but I think that I am going to go ahead and start it. If you want more information or synopses, I will have these books listed down below. You are welcome to check out whatever bookshop you like and support. I highly recommend checking out independent bookstores. I mean, you do what works right for your budget. So I have Babel by R.F. Kuang, and this is a book, a dark academia book if I'm not mistaken. The American Roommate Experiment, and I also have the Spanish Love Deception that is still in the mail waiting to be delivered. I think it's supposed to be here on Friday. I also have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I, for whatever reason, thought I had this book, and I remember looking at my bins. I don't remember seeing it. So I don't know why I thought I had this book, but it is a book that has been on my radar since it came out, actually. I'm going to put this to the side for my February project, and I hope that I will get to read that in the month of February. We also have The X-Files by Jessica Joyce, and I also have her book that I just recently purchased the digital copy of You with a View. So I will also put these to the side for a February project. Beach read, book lovers, and people you meet on vacation. I am actually going to save these books to the summer. I might add book lovers to the February pick, but they all just summery reads. So I might save these actually until March at least. Spring break I can do. It's too soon for the beach reads right now. It's too cold in Houston. Light Lark Special Edition. This is the box that it comes in, and the box is cute, but the book is the showstopper. First of all, let's look at these edges. Red, perfection. The book, perfection. Look at that. How am I supposed to read this version? How am I supposed to read this copy? If I get a single fingerprint on this book, she gonna be devastated. She being me. So maybe I need to get the Kindle version and just leave this one to be the beautiful entity that it is. I need to find a way to display the box and the book because I need both. That is it for the book haul portion of this video. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this TBR jar. That's what we're here for. We're going to pick the books that we're going to read for the month of February. Now, just because I pulled these prompts does not necessarily mean I am going to read these books. In the month of January, I read 4 out of the 6 books that I pulled the prompts for. So it's just fun to do. She spent all day working on these prompts, so we're going to use them. All right. Hopefully we can get some lovey-dovey prompts to fit in with Valentine's Day. First prompt that we have, yes, it's the romance for me. Enemies to lover, a book with this classic trope. So we're going to find an enemies to lovers book. All right. I realized y'all couldn't see. I need y'all thinking I'm cheating or nothing. All right. Prompt number 2. We're going to just pull 5. I don't want to overwhelm myself. A book with the snake on the cover or the title. We already know what book that's going to be. Okay, that's number 2. All right, bookstore treasure. Read something you discovered while browsing a bookstore. have a couple in mind. Oops. I made a mess. All right, I have to switch some things around up in here. All right. What prompt is this? Prompt number 4. Let's see. This is not a romance prompt. I can tell by the color. All right. What is it? Ah, Disney book. Pixie Dust. A whimsical, lighthearted read. And then one more. I got my hair in it. Oops. Oh, yeah. Award winning. A book that won the National Book Award. You know what? I'm gonna put this back. And we're gonna draw another one. Okay, so we have this one here. Let me try to see it first. A self-love journey, a book about personal growth or self-discovery. Because you got to fall in love with yourself too. All right, we have our prompts. Let's go ahead and start pulling these books. Let me pull them. I'll be back. All right, that took me a second, but I'm back. So before I share the books that are going along with the prompts that I pulled, I want to share 2 more books that I am interested in reading in the month of February. Difficult Women by Roxane Gay. And then We Are All So Good at Smiling by Amber McBride. So those are 2 books that I for sure want to get to in the month of February. One, because I always try to do my best to read African American written books during the month of Black History Month. But also, I don't want to just be limited to that. I also want to make sure that I'm also reading the love stories. And I tend to read historical fiction and memoirs and nonfiction during the beginning quarter of the year. Don't know why. So I have the Bookstore Treasure, and that's the Bookshop Sisterhood. Now this is a book that I'm supposed to read for the month of January. I think I put it on my TBR, but I'm not exactly sure. And again, this is about a group of friends who work together to open up a bookshop. I did start reading. It is a little slow to start, but it's also just introducing us to the characters, how they became connected, how they became friends, and how the bookstore is coming to be. Next is a book with a snake on the cover or the title, and of course I had to go for the book that's out of my comfort zone and the book that weighs at least 10 pounds. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and this is about a secret society at Yale, if I'm not mistaken. This book has been everywhere: BookTube, BookTok, Bookstagram, all of the above. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I know that there's a second book that follows behind this. What is it called? Hellbent, I think. We'll see how I feel about this one once I finish reading it, and then if there's something that I'm interested in, maybe I'll go ahead and get it, read it at another time. I believe it's available through Book of the Month as well, so I'll probably just get matching copies, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see how I feel about Ninth House first. Enemies to Lovers trope, and I got P.S. I Hate You, Book of the Month coming through for the month of February. I'm trying to get through these Book of the Month books so I can halt and make room for books that I'm actually interested in. Pixie Dust, which are my Disney related prompts, and a whimsical, a lighthearted read. And I got By the Book by Jasmine Guillory, which is a part of the Meant to Be series based on Disney princesses, and I have all 4 of them. 2 of them I added to my February project. This one is separate on my TBR, so I saw this one and I want to continue the series. I already read The Shoe That Fits, and so this is By the Book based on Beauty and the Beast, and I'm excited about it. And last but simply not least, we have the Self-Love Journey, and the book that I chose for that one is actually on my Kindle, and it is Radical Self-Care for Black Women. So I am excited to actually read that. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up today. Currently on my Kindle, side note, because your girl just be all over the place. I'm reading The Untold Story of the Rise and Fall of Disney Channel's Twin Empires, Disney High is what it's called. And then I also want to read the Welcome to the Heinem Dong bookshop. So those are probably the last 2 books that I'll read for the month of January. That will put me at 10 books, if I'm not mistaken. 9 books maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me this long. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so. Make sure you turn on the notifications so that you can get notified every single time I upload. Despite all that life is throwing at your girl, she is still trying to get y'all content, okay? So Likes and subscribes are greatly and tremendously appreciated. To my new and OG subscribers, I'm happy to have y'all. Even if I just had 10 seconds of y'all's time, I appreciate it. With that being said, I will see y'all later.